Hey guys, Dudeness Plays here, and we're back. My garage. Now, we bought this car after doing a couple of jobs. I think we did 2 jobs in episode 1. And we bought this car, and it's a bit of a wreck, I understand. But today we are going to get the engine out, get it on the stand, and see what we're working with. So, first things first, we need our trusty spanner or wrench. Is it a wrench? Adjustable wrench, isn't it, this? Right, so there's a few things we need. So we need to get rid of that. This is the engine mounts that we're getting rid of. We need to disconnect from the exhaust, which I love that you can just take it clean out like that. That's great. We need to disconnect, it's already disconnected there. To disconnect these. And these are the battery wires, which should just come off like that. That's perfect. And we also need to disconnect the transmission, which from this angle we can actually get the top bolts, which is great. The lean is like the best thing in this game. Like if we could have this lean in real life, it would be just amazing. I don't know if that was the last bolt. Let's double check. Come on. There's a bit of rust there. I see it now. Okay. I think that was the last bolt. Now, is the engine... The engine is out. And apparently I can pick the engine up without a problem. Now, the engine looks in pretty good nick. There's a lot of good parts on there. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get it on the engine mount. I'm going to tighten that on like that as soon as we move these out of the way. And what we'll do is I want to move, come on you, over here, and you. Okay, forget it. I want to just move this. You've got to push this a bit. Don't knock it over. Now with this we can, yes, we can roll the mouse wheel to turn the engine any which way we want, so that's good. So let's see what parts we've got that are good. That oil filter looks good, so we'll keep you. That doesn't look very good, but that's not a problem. I need my wrench. That's the fuel pump, which looks pretty good actually. We need to just grab the fuel pump off, and we'll put everything that looks good on here, and everything that looks bad can go somewhere else. Now we're looking for, come on, there's the bolt. Is there a second one? Yep, there is. Okay, this is a bad one. I don't want this. I'm just going to put this on the thing. And what is that again? Was I right in thinking that was the ignition? It's not going to tell me. Okay, fair enough. So we've got four spark plugs. We'll just get new spark plugs anyway. I'm not going to try and replace spark plugs with the same ones. It actually has oil in, but that's not going to make any difference. So we'll get the spark plugs out. We need our spark plug wrench. 1, 2, 3. Lovely. As I say, we'll just put a pack of new spark plugs in. I'm not going to try and reuse, even though they actually look really good. In real life, you'd want to do a bit of preventative maintenance at this point and just replace the spark plugs. They're not expensive and they're an easy job. With the engine torn out like this, it just makes sense to do preventative. It doesn't really apply in the game, but in real life, that's what you'd want to do. To my limited knowledge of real life, working on cars. So we'll just take I believe this is the exhaust header or the manifold. That looks in good nick, so we'll probably keep that. That's it, manifold. The header is where the intake goes in. I think you can call it a header though, can't you, if I remember correctly? Need the starter. Might be 2 bolts for the starter. Yep, there it is. Starter can go. That's fried. Looks good to me. We'll take that's the crankshaft pulley, if I remember correctly. And everything so far looks good. Now we don't know what the condition of the pistons are, or the camshaft, or the timing belt. We don't know any of that information. So we'll take the cylinder head off. We're going to keep EU. Okay, there we go. You see, So the camshaft is no good. The timing belt is no good. So we're going to need a new camshaft, new timing belt, and we might as well get a new cam gear as well while we're at it. The clutch actually looks pretty good. I'll tear the clutch down in a minute, but we'll just turn this so we can get to it. So the first thing we want to do is remove the brackets holding the cam shaft. There we go. Can you tell I don't really work on cars? That comes apart as one. The timing belt falls out, or the timing chain falls out. We're not going to need that. That's another thing you'd replace if you were ripping the engine down to this point anyway. You wouldn't leave the same one in, because then you know you've got a certain amount of mileage. Okay, this looks good. So we'll keep you. All of our pistons look good. That's the head gasket, which is another thing you'd probably replace, but do you know what? That's not broken. I'm not going to bother getting a new one. Okay, that looks, yeah, they look pretty good. So let's turn it over. We'll get the oil pan off it. Turn it over again. Come on. Perfect. Now the oil pan looks good, so that'll be another part we'll keep. That looks really clean in there. That's, yeah, I got no issues with that at all. The engine block might look a little bit worn, but in terms of like rust or anything like that, oh, hang on. Pretty certain that's not supposed to be like that. That looks like a break. That means I need new engine block. Look at that. Yep. I don't know if that's a visual glitch or I think the engine block is damaged. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove everything. All the pistons are starting to fall out now. So I'm going to remove everything. We'll get a new engine block. Take them out. Yeah, that looks good. The whole clutch assembly's come off as well. I think that clutch could do with a bit of work. So let's just have a look. Let's break it open. Let's break the pressure plate off. No, that looks... I might buy a new clutch anyway. It's always a good idea to, again, preventative maintenance. So we'll just get a new clutch. And this engine block, I think, has been stripped down. So what we'll do is we'll loosen that engine block off. What engine block are we looking for? A 1.5 inline 4. So it was the Niv, wasn't it? I know this can have... No, I don't want that one. So it's the Niv, and it can be an inline 4. We're looking for engine, and we need the... Where are you? Block. Now we can give it a 1.8. Bit more power. We can give it a turbo, but we're not going to go that far. I think I might want to use this to tow a trailer. So we'll get a 1.8 block. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in real life you would need... Oh no, it's got the same problem there. Look, and this is brand new. So that engine block was fine. It's just a thing with the... what's it called? It's just a problem with the view. So that engine block was fine. But we're going to be putting a 1.8 engine in it anyway. So I just need... I want a clutch... No, I didn't need a clutch pressure plate. I needed a clutch plate. I don't need the pressure plate. I didn't really need the clutch either. Right. Let's put the pressure plate on. Okay. That's that. Let's put the crankshaft back in. Now, I don't know a ton about cars. So if I say anything that isn't right, is stupid or whatever, then please let me know in the comments below. because, as I say, I don't really know much about cars. I know the theory behind a lot of it, and I know roughly how things go together, but I've never actually taken a car apart and put it back together. I mean, I've done some light work on cars that I've owned and so on and so forth, but yeah, so if I do say anything stupid or anything that's wrong, please feel free to let me know the difference and correct me, or, you know, things like that. Be much willing to learn about this more because, as I say, absolutely love cars, have done for a long time. Now, usually you'd put the timing belt. I'm pretty certain you'd put the timing belt in first before you did this. That's one thing we do need. We need a timing belt, and we need a camshaft gear, if I remember correctly. We need a camshaft, actually. Oh, that comes with the gear attached, so we need that. We need a... Where are you? It's in alphabetical order. There we go. You need a timing belt. Now, sometimes you can attach the pieces, but I'm pretty certain you attach this one first. Not sure how you managed to do that, but whatever. And then you attach that one. That's it. Then when we tighten this down, everything's fine. There's no tensioners we need to worry about. So we'll just keep going. Okay, that's that. So we just need to put the engine cylinder head cover on. Okay. We need a pack of spark plugs. Now the manifold we're keeping. So I'll put the manifold on now because you can. I don't know if you'd be better off putting that on before or after you've put it back in the engine bay. Come on. Sometimes it doesn't want to grab, like now. It doesn't want to grab the oil filter. That could be because I've got the wrench in my hand. Oh no. Come on. There we go. So we'll just do that. Right, that's the fuel pump in place. That's the oil filter in place. We need spark plugs, ignition, alternator, because it didn't have an alternator. I'm just going to move you over there. That could come in handy later. But what do we need then? The i4, the Niv. We need the alternator. We're going to need a battery, but not just yet. We're also going to need the air filter housing, the air filter lid, and the air filter, along with the alternator belt. Carb. We're going to need a crankshaft pulley. Distributor. That'll be for when the car's in. An ignition coil we're going to need. Intake manifold, we've got all that. Starter we need. Spark plug wires we need. Water pump we definitely need. I believe we need one of them. And obviously we're down nearly £5,000 at this point. So what else were we after? We're after spark plugs. They're going to be in the engine, aren't they? Spark plugs. No, I have to go over and buy them. So I'll go over and buy them now. As you can see, there's also a day-night cycle. So you can change the stock in the shops by going to sleep. The annoying thing is here I can only buy one at a time. I need 4. So I'm not going to run back and forth doing this. God, that car looks pitiful over there. Don't worry, I'm fixing you. Oh, and I've just lost that one. Where are you? There you are. Thank God for that lead is all I'll say. Right, you go there. Now there is something you can do. You can grab this box. So I'll put you there. Grab you. Now, last time I did this, it only took like one of the spark plugs, but we'll see what happens. Why not, eh? Right, we've got the box, and it's got all 4 spark plugs. Well, 3 of them. So that's great. So we'll go back, and it just means we're not running back and forth constantly. And we can grab the spark plugs out the box, put one in there. And now we're going to grab the box. Spark plug. Come on. So yeah, it's It's a great little game. If you love cars, get it. It's not that expensive. There's going to be more work done on it. So yeah. So now we need to tighten them down. Now I did put it over here somewhere. The biggest problem will be losing tools. Right, that's the spark plugs in. Right, so now we need to... that's the starter, that's the alternator there, spark plug wires. That's the ignition coil, which is what we're going to need. And that's the ignition coil on. Get the distributor. For some reason I always have a bit of trouble saying that. Okay, that's in. Now the spark plug wires should go in. They're another thing I can't pick up while holding the wrench. Okay, they're in. We'll get the alternator on. As you can see, it's a bit different from the one... Well, we didn't even take an alternator off, did we? Okay, alternator's on. Carb. There's a... no, I think I need... Hang on, I'm missing the intake. So we'll get the crankshaft pulley on. That needs to go there, because the one we took off was rusted. Oh, yep, there's the water pump, which is the thing that pumps the coolant around your engine. So I believe that's done. I'll just double check. I think so. Right, we'll put the belt on now. The belt's another thing you can't pick up while you're holding the wrench. Okay, perfect. It's all of our ancillary systems. Grab the intake. Just sit there. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab the carb. Oh, there we go. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can actually build the air filter housing here, which I really like. I love that you can build components like this and then just throw it on. I really like that. So that should bolt on somehow. Usually you'd bolt it on. Do I have to take this apart? I think I may have to take it apart. I do, because there's a bolt in the middle. Honestly. So some things you can do, or some things you can be a bit of an idiot and do that. Make more work for yourself. Right. So the engine's nearly done now. I think I had one. Yep. Mustn't forget the starter, otherwise it's not going to start. Okay. Bottom, beautiful. And then I'm pretty certain that's tiny. Does that go on here? Pretty certain that's the engine done. Just got pipes to connect. Exhaust, coolant. But I think that's the engine done. So I think with the engine done, we're going to leave it there. And next episode, we're going to tackle, I think we're going to tackle the suspension. We're going to get the suspension up and running, all the subframe, and we'll go from there. So thanks very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And I'll see you when we tackle this.